Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the brand new The Grand Tour Adventure, A Massive Hunt. Now this adventure has been so long in the making because of COVID. We got the other one, the Grand Tour Seaman, very early in the year, and we were expecting some more specials to follow fairly soon after, but that just didn't happen because of COVID and the fact that how they had to edit the show and all this kind of stuff. It's taken a long time to prep this show and get it ready to go out for audiences. However, we did finally get it on December the 18th. I've been highly anticipating it after watching the trailer, which came out just a couple of weeks ago. And what are the guys up to in this episode? Well, they are hunting pirate treasure. They are given the task of heading to Madagascar to search for some buried pirate treasure. Now, they initially turn up. Clarkson chooses a V8 Bentley Continental. Hammond chooses a Ford Focus RS, and May chooses a Catering. And they are initially doing the usual things that they do, you know, have races, that kind of stuff, drag races, comparing cars, all this kind of stuff, and they're all very pleased with themselves because normally they have to buy second-hand cars and put up with, you know, bangers usually on these specials, but they haven't. They've got these brand new spanking cars, and then they discover the task that they've got, which is to go to Madagascar and search for this treasure. However, they are warned by May from someone in his past saying that the roads in Madagascar are horrifically bad, and the cars they've got ain't going to cut it, so they have to modify all their cars to be able to manage on really bad roads. Clarkson turns this into this huge chunky thing with big wheels, and also he'd modified it so it can go 6 feet in water. Hammond basically turned his into a tank. He took the wheels off and put like tracks on it, and raised it up and everything like that, and all May did to his Catering was just put bigger wheels on and raise it up that way, and bigger chunkier wheels. And then they head to Madagascar. Initially they rib May quite a lot because the roads are perfect, there's no problems at all, and they can't see why they had to modify their cars, but that soon changes, fairly soon, and the roads get worse and worse and worse, and they really do get quite horrifically bad. Now, if you followed these guys' adventures for a few years, as I have, and I'm sure many of you have, on Top Gear first and the Grand Tour, they have been to some pretty bad places in regards to roads. This is amongst the worst I've ever seen, and in actual fact one of the cars doesn't make it. However, I'm not going to spoil and say which one, which to my knowledge, and they do mention it in the show, I think it's the first time ever one of them doesn't make it. So that's how bad the roads are, and a huge chunk of this episode, and it's a 90-minute episode, so it's a full-on special here, is dedicated to showing just how bad these roads actually are, and they are really quite bad. So it's a really good episode. Now, if you know these guys, you know how they work, you know what to expect here. It's a fun episode. It's really entertaining. The spark's still there between them. They're constantly making jokes about each other, putting the foot in it, all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's hilarious. Just when Clarkson's trying to ask for some jump leads somewhere, and the way he does it, you'll be laughing out loud. Hammond manages to offend the locals when he thinks he's met a real life pirate, but in actual fact he's dressed for his wedding. He's not a pirate at all. He actually holds up this wedding by about 2 or 3 hours because his car breaks down, and there's these people trying to get to a wedding. And it's hilarious as well to watch James May in his Catering, which actually does brilliantly well, I think, in this episode, apart from the fact that when they go along these really muddy roads with this deep water, he's in this Catering, so he's basically driving it underwater, and he gets the car and himself get absolutely covered in mud. So it's fun. I mean, the concept here is searching for buried treasure is fun. I mean, they've done similar things before on Top Gear, you know, when they went looking for, you know, the source of the Nile in Africa, and all that kind of stuff. So they've done similar things like this before when they've had this objective at the end to get to. So for me, it felt similar to that one, especially, even though the goal at the end was different. This one is treasure. That one was obviously finding the source of the Nile, but they felt similar in a lot of ways. Obviously, Madagascar was beautifully shown off here. It looks a beautiful, beautiful country, and as usual, they do a really good job of highlighting that in the show. I think that's something they always do really well in these episodes. They like to highlight the beauty of the countries that they are visiting, and I think they do that brilliantly here as well. And it does look jaw-droppingly beautiful at times, from what I could see, and I think it's a real highlight here. I mean, it probably doesn't help, whichever way you look at it, the fact that we've had to wait so long for this episode. And the last one, and I really enjoyed the last one, the seaman one. They were on boats in that one, so it feels like a long time since we've seen these guys go on an adventure in some cars, get into these scrapes and escapades, and wondering how they're going to get through it. And they always get through it with a smile, with a joke. Yes, it's the usual rehearsed stuff now and again that they do, but it doesn't change the fact that it's charming and funny, especially when, you know, they're taking the mickey out of Bear Grylls in this episode, all this kind of stuff. And from my perspective, it is a top-notch episode once again. Really looking forward to the next one. I hope it's not we don't have as big a wait for the next one and it comes a little bit sooner than we've had to wait for this one. But I'm going to give it a very, very strong 9 out of 10. If you get a chance to watch A Massive Hunt, it's on Amazon Prime right now. That's what I've watched it on this morning. So I hope you enjoyed this review, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. And of course, I will be back with more content and reviews on Screen Stars very, very soon.